So this is the third time I'm attempting to film this video. Okay, so let's hope that third time is a charm. Hi, hello, today we're going to be talking about a couple of new Prada Beauty products that I picked up right before the Luminous Legends collection, and then I obviously got very distracted, so we never had time to chat about them. I'm going to start putting on my makeup so we can be efficient with time here. I am going to start off the look with my Inglot eyeshadow keeper. So the thing is, a while ago I had already mentioned that I would really like to try the new setting powder from Prada, the one with the mint green color. And then eventually it was released, and I think I mentioned also in a video a while back that you can now purchase Prada Beauty from Look Fantastic, which is fantastic, pun intended, because with Look Fantastic you can very often find codes for, I don't know, 15, 20, 25% off. I was extremely lucky. I found the code for 25% off at the time, and that actually worked on my Prada Beauty order. So I even purchased the new powder 25% off. And because I really adore the formula of the Prada quads, as you already saw in the thumbnail, I also purchased another one of their original like core line quads, the shade Pulse. For my foundation today, I'm going to do a mix of my Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation in the shade 3N1 and 2N1. My skin is not in the best of state right now, hormones at all, and I need a foundation that is absolutely, you know, impenetrable, and that is my Estee Lauder Double Wear. So I made my order, happy times, but then unfortunately they split my order. And because I'm a very impatient person, I received the quad and I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to film a video with that, and then we will do a separate video on the powder. I filmed the video, it was a nice video, but then literally the day that I was editing the video, the powder arrived, and then I thought, well, it's kind of stupid for me to not show you the powder now that I actually have it. And then I figured it's even dumber to do a demo of a setting powder, because that literally tells you nothing. Like, if I just put a powder on my face, that gives you very little information about how the powder will perform. Like, powder is a product that you need to test throughout the whole day with different foundations, different times of the month, if you will, and you need to have, you know, somewhat more time to assess it. So I decided I'm going to chill on the Prada Beauty video until I have my thoughts gathered on the powder. Well, now it has been a few weeks since I ordered the product, and then on Monday, and mind you, the last video that I filmed for the Luminous Legends was on Saturday, and I had filmed a lot of videos back to back. On Monday morning, before work, I sat down and I thought, great, we can finally talk about my Prada Beauty order. And as I sat down, I thought, am I really in the mood to film? Am I not a little bit too tired still? I was too tired. So I filmed the video, I went to edit it, I hated it, I deleted the footage, and then I thought, well, crap, I might not get around to this at all anytime soon, because, just to give you a heads up, I will be away next week, so this will be the last video you see from me until the end of October, because next week is autumn holiday here for the kids, and we're going to Sofia to visit my parents, and we're going to celebrate my son's 6th birthday there, which is going to be very special for grandma and grandpa there, because usually we celebrate his birthday here. Anyway, totally off topic. But that was the reason you never got around to see both of these videos that I had already filmed with the Prada Beauty products. What a long and convoluted story. The other thing I wanted to mention is the reason I didn't purchase the holiday quad. I think we talked about it, and I was initially very excited that Prada is finally coming out with another quad, and one that is limited edition for the holidays. But upon second inspection, I realized that there is really nothing about that quad that's really all that special. The packaging is really lazy in my opinion, because they've literally slapped a few geometric forms which may or may not look like snow globes. I'm not entirely sure what the idea is, on both the lipsticks in this collection and the quad, and they charge more money for that, and they call it a limited edition worthy outer packaging. I'm sorry, Prada, but I beg to differ. If they had put on one of those prints that you would get in Harrods, I think it's in Harrods in the UK or London. If you go to that store and you purchase a Prada quad there, you will actually get this beautiful, I don't know whether it's a sticker or they apply it in some other sort of way, but I know Colin from Queer Bones got 2 of these quads in Harrods, and Basically what they do is they print out here, or they do something on the other side of the packaging, which essentially is, I'm sorry, that's the powder, that's the quad, and they do some sort of a print which represents the color stories, like a very abstract, beautiful looking print on the front of the packaging, which makes the packaging really unique and really special. If they had done something like this for their holiday quad, I might have been slightly more tempted by it, slightly, but unfortunately they just like put those stupid geometric white forms to make the whole look like a globe, and I am not into it. I don't know what it's supposed to be, I don't like it, to me it's really lazy. And what I find also really lazy is the color story. Now before we discuss the color story though, let's talk about the powder. So this is the new Prada Reset Rebalancing Setting Powder, and it is in this beautiful light mint green color. As usual with all the Prada Beauty products, you have this little button here so you can pop out the pan, and these are refillable. What's also interesting to mention is that the quads and the powder essentially come in the same packaging. So if you were to pan your powder, you didn't like your powder, but you really like their quads, you can substitute the powder with one of their refills for the quads, because the packaging will fit. Now when it comes to the powder, you will see that there is an imprint here with the Prada logo. Mine was unfortunately a little bit, not really damaged, but it seemed to have some sort of like a defect in it. Doesn't really bother me, I don't care so much, because the actual powder is fantastic. I've been using it for a couple of weeks in different sort of circumstances for varying amounts of length of the day that I need to wear my makeup for, and this powder never budges. Especially if I put it together with my Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. I just put it on and I forget that I even have to look at my foundation. It just, my oil doesn't really break through all that much. The powder itself is very lightweight, it is very silky. Swatching a powder is really stupid, so I'm just going to show you on my finger what sort of the texture looks like. It is very lightweight, and on the skin it is literally undetectable. Let me apply a little bit so you can also see what it does. I'm going to apply first a bit here on my forehead, and then I will put here on half of my face the powder so that you can see the difference. So I think you can definitely tell how much it blurred my pores. Especially on this cheek I have some pretty significant craters going on, and I think, considering that I don't use primer, like pore filling primer or anything, I think this powder does an absolutely fabulous job in filling in my pores. My face looks matte, but not like a flat, dry, unhealthy matte. It just looks like my skin is sort of like slightly blurred out, and then throughout the course of the day my own oils will break through and I will get a bit more of a healthy glow, but I will not be greasy, I will have a healthy glow. And I really truly think that what's really special about this powder is just how incredibly undetectable on the skin it is. It is a gorgeous product, I can only highly recommend it. I'm going to do my brows with the Benefit 24-hour brow setter. I know a lot of you already were very fond of this powder because you were able to get it in the end of the summer, and I recall when we talked about it in my comment section, several of you had commented that you already have the powder and you really like it, and I can confirm that I am also extremely positive about it, and I really enjoy having it in my collection, and I absolutely love that Prada makes their packaging refillable. Everything about their packaging is refillable. The lipsticks, the quads, the balms, everything is, you can swap, mix and match, all of that good stuff, and I really like that. I want to say the collection comes with some lipsticks as well, which also come in limited edition packaging. However, I want to say I saw someone's video demoing parts of this collection, and the lipstick they showed was Mahogany, and Mahogany is not a new color. I have Mahogany, so we're going to put on Mahogany later, but I already have Mahogany. It's in their Hyper Matte formula, so it's not a new color. I am not entirely sure that there are any new colors in this collection, which is also a bit of a bummer. I was kind of hoping they will come out with like a nice festive red or something for the holidays, because I've been really looking into getting a refill of one of their reds, especially in the soft matte formula, because I love the soft matte formula, but for the life of me I can't settle on a red. I don't really know which red, so if you guys have some of their reds and you know a little bit what my taste in red lipstick is, do you know if there are any of the core line lipsticks in their soft matte formula that would really suit me? I would love to know. For my bronzer today, I'm going to take a Bronze Mahogany from Pat McGrath Labs. Now let's go back to talking about the color story of the Holiday Quad. So the color story of the Holiday Quad is the architecture of that quad is slightly different, because if you have the quads from Prada, you will know that they have a variety of different textures in there. They have always that one very bright color, which is in that what I call sort of like latexy cream to powder formula, very lightweight. Even though the colors are quite vibrant, they don't apply as vibrant on the lids, and that's because of the formula. There's also always a satin, a metallic, and the stripe on top, which is like this dark matte color, which is a slightly different formula to the vibrant pop of color. It's still that cream to powder formula, but it is slightly drier in texture. For blush, I'm going to stick with Pat, and I'm going to take my beloved Nude Venus. And the Holiday Quad is different in the sense that it has the deep matte color on the very top of the quad, so that little like stripe. But the other three shades are all in the metallic formula, which isn't necessarily bad because I really like their metallic formula. I think it's a gorgeous, very like a reflective formula without being overly sparkly. But the colors of the three metallics are just so boring and uninspired. If you think about it, it's a simple silver, a simple gold, and a simple pink. And I'm not saying they're ugly colors of, you know, this representative group. Like, it's a really beautiful pink, it's a really beautiful gold, it's a really beautiful silver, but they're just such boring, done and overdone colors, especially for the holidays. And I just felt so disappointed, because I thought, considering what they did with their original release, which was so incredibly creative with all those different combinations of color, the really bold pops of color that were present in each of the original quads, it just felt like such a step back from that creativity to make such a boring holiday quad. But I totally understand why they made a boring holiday quad, because people want boring. They're not going to put, you know, mustard yellows on their eyes on the daily, especially not for the holidays. They just want boring silvers, pinks and golds to put on their eyes, go out and, you know, celebrate Christmas and have the occasional New Year's party. So I totally get why they made this color story, but I am not going to spend my money on it. I choose to wait until they release more of those like creative quads before I buy another one. Been a hot minute since I used the Chanel Rave de Camellia highlighter, so let's use that today. In fact, the only like metallic that I am really attracted to in this new quad is the pink, but I have the feeling that the pink that's present in the quad that has the green shade, which may or may not be called Poetry, I'm not entirely sure, I confuse them a little bit, but the quad that has the matte green shade also has a pink in it that is absolutely stunning, and in terms of the tone, very reminiscent of the one that's present in the Holiday Quad. I'm going to set my foundation with a little bit of Fix Plus on my Real Techniques sponge, and then we can do some quick swatches of Pulse. So this is the new quad that I purchased. This is in the shade Pulse. I already knew I'm going to absolutely love these two shades, the pinky taupe and the metallic taupe. On pictures, it really was very hard to tell what this orange is going to look like in real life, because in some instances it really looked like a coral orange, and in others it looked like a true pumpkin orange. And I can confirm this is more of like a true pumpkin orange, which is fantastic because I absolutely love pumpkin oranges. The shade that I'm not too fond of is this one here, the Deep Matte, because it has the dreaded maroon undertone. If you've been around my channel for a bit, let me swatch the shadows for you. If you've been around my channel for a bit, you will know that maroons are not my faves, because I just don't find them flattering on me, no other reason. These are the two mattes. You will see the very strong maroon purple undertones in here. So let me quickly swatch the two mattes. But I absolutely love the orange. I know the orange is the shade that probably scares a lot of people, but look at this beautiful texture. Because of how soft it is, even though this color looks so vibrant in the pan, I feel like on the eyes you can really play around with how vibrant this is going to look. And I don't think that it's ever going to be like in your face vibrant. And then we've got the satin shade here in the middle and the metallic taupe, which are my faves. I absolutely love these two. So this is the satin shade, and here we've got the metallic. the undertone of these two is just absolutely beautiful. This has that beautiful, like sort of like I need a nude pink sort of undertone, and this actually is more of like a true silver taupe. It's so pretty. It's a bit of an unusual combination of colors, I'll be completely honest with you, and at first I was like, is this really going to work together? I don't know. I've been enjoying the looks that I've created with this, although given that I've only done 2 videos and I've sort of tried to use all the 4 shades in the video, it's always been the same look. Really the only question mark for me remains this color. Now, if you mix the 2 colors, if you mix the orange and the maroon shade, just like this, together on the back of the hand, they do create a very nice shade, I feel like, of brown. But I'm not entirely sure that this would be possible to achieve on the eyes. So let's find out. I am going to attempt to tone down the maroon tone of this shade a little bit by mixing it with the orange, but I'm not entirely sure how that's going to go. Okay, up close and personal. I am going to take a pencil brush and I'm going to switch to a more pointy pencil brush, and I'm going to take the maroon matte, the deep maroon matte, and I'm going to run that here close to the lashes to give definition and depth. And you can see that despite being very dark, this eyeshadow applies quite nicely and it allows for building, and that's really the case with all of the eyeshadows in these quads. They are all very buildable and you can really play around with the intensity. Yeah, I just think colors like this make me look really sickly and I don't like the undertone. So unfortunately, while I was hoping for this to have more of a brown tone, or like more of a brown burgundy tone, it in real life is much more of like a maroon. Maybe they look stunning on you, good for you. On me they look like this. I'm not too fond of them. Anyway, I'm going to now take a little bit of the orange, so the pop of orange on the brush, and I'm going to try to mix that on my lids together with the maroon to see if I'm able to create somewhat more of like a brown shade. Maybe. It's really difficult because you have to nail the ratios between the 2 shades to create the brown, and you also need to sort of like mix them and really work them together, because simply putting the 2 on your brush, I've tried that and I feel like the maroon sort of overtakes and you don't really see anything else besides the maroon. So I figured maybe if we try to mix the 2 like this a bit more as a liner, it would work a little bit better. I'm not entirely sure that that did anything, but possibly it did. Let's just quit on this experiment because I do not think it is working out. Next I'm going to take the beautiful satin here in the middle. This is a gorgeous shade, I really love this. And I'm going to go all over the lid with this as like a sort of like one and done kind of moment. This is a beautiful subtle shade that is going to be such a nice one and done for everyone who enjoys a bit more like a subtle daytime eye, but prefers their neutral eyeshadows to lean a bit more cool. This is a beautiful, gorgeous eyeshadow, and I really like, you know, when I cover the maroon shade with this shade, I still get the depth in my lower lashes, but I'm not getting too much of that sickly maroon shade on my lids. I just absolutely love the tone of that satin shade. It is super pretty. Next I'm going to take a little bit of glitter glue and I'm going to apply that in my inner corners as well as a little bit over the satin taupe shade so that we can go in with the metallic. I don't think you necessarily even need glitter glue from the metallic. From memory, I don't think it made much of a difference. But I want to apply a little bit of the glitter glue in my inner corners because I have very teary eyes, especially in my inner corners, and I think the glitter glue helps to keep my inner corners for a bit longer throughout the day. Okay, next I'm going to take a flat shader brush and I'm going to apply the metallic taupe over here, over all over the lid, over top of that satin taupe that we applied earlier. And from experience I can also tell you, using this shade on your fingers isn't going to make much of a difference. It will apply in the exact same way. So you're still going to get the exact same effect. This is also a really, really pretty shade. For my inner corners, I am actually going to take my old DIY Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter palette, and I'm just going to use this one as my inner corner highlight, because none of the shades in this quad really would work for me as an inner corner highlight. And finally, I'm going to clean off my brush, and I'm actually going to take the pumpkin orange shade, and I'm going to put that on my lower lashes, because I wanted to show you, look how vibrant this looks in the pan. When you apply it on the skin though, it is much softer, it's not as vibrant, and it is quite buildable, and it's just such a beautiful flattering formula. I think it has a bit of that blurring quality to it, so it looks really flattering on the lids. Look, I applied a little bit of this shade, but even so, it's not too vibrant, it's not too in your face, it's not going to be one of those colors that you apply and think, oh my gosh, what have I done? So I just wanted to show you that this eyeshadow actually applies quite softly on the lids, and that's my experience also with the light blue that I have in the other quad. You can really tone down, or like they really apply in a very toned down manner, so even though they're colorful, they still look very elegant. And I happen to have this really fun orange, it's in old pencil liner from MAC, that I can pop here in my waterline to match up the orange on the lower lashes and just have like this beautiful bright pop of orange without it being too much. I wanted to quickly show you how these eyeshadows look under artificial lighting, because like I said, they have a glimmer to them, but they're not as intensely like glittery and reflective as a Pat McGrath eyeshadow, but they still have a beautiful, you know, reflectivity to them. And it only felt fitting, of course, to wear Mahogany on my lips. So this is one of their hyper matte lipsticks. You can recognize the hyper mattes versus the soft mattes because the detailing here on the side for the hyper mattes is gold, whereas for the soft mattes it is silver. Now, I am extremely fond of their soft matte formula because it is such a unique formula, but that is not to say that their hyper matte formula is not exceptional too. I absolutely love it. It's a beautiful matte formula which has a bit of creaminess to it, and it still remains quite comfortable throughout the day. And the shade Mahogany isn't that the most beautiful shade for fall. Let's talk about the two products that I picked up. The powder, the Reset, what is it called again? The Reset Rebalancing Setting Powder. I absolutely love it. This does everything that I want a good powder to do. It is undetectable on the skin, non-drying, it makes my makeup last a really long time, it fills my pores, blurs my skin. Really, what else could you want from a powder? This is an excellent luxury good quality powder, and like I said, I can only highly recommend it. The quad I really enjoy as well. I think I'm going to be really curious to actually pair the orange shade here with my other quad, the shade Pure, because there are some like warmer tones in there which I think might fit really beautifully with this shade. I absolutely love these two shades, and I've made my feelings clear about this deeper shade here. But I feel like I made it work for this look, and I'm not too mad with the final result. I'm very curious what you thought about this look, and if you have the powder, what are your thoughts? Do you have this quad? What are your thoughts? Do you have this lipstick? What are your thoughts? Let's talk about Prada Beauty. I know a couple of you are going to pick up the new holiday quad. If you already have, please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Just to remind you, this is going to be the last video you're going to see from me for the next 10 days or so. I hope that we can see each other again when I'm back from my holidays, but depending on how things go, it may be another 2 weeks before we see each other again. As usual, thank you so much for watching, and we will see each other in the next one. Bye!